Oh, better be careful what I promise. Hey, we'll all agree that Australia's a pretty beautiful place, but we do have to share it with some of the world's deadliest creatures.
So it's lucky then there are blokes around like Tony Harrison or the Snake Man. He's made an action-packed series about chasing and catching reptiles of all shapes and sizes, and he hopes that we'll also learn some life-saving lessons. Meet Tony Harrison, the Gold Coast's very own Snake Man. He's the go-to bloke for any slithery situation.
Come on, buddy.
This eastern brown may be the second most deadly snake in the world.
One drop of venom can take out easily 16 healthy adults.
But it's just another day at the office for Tony, and there's no time for chit-chat. Throwing this one in the back of the car, there's soon another call-out.
The ladies are amazing.
And who wouldn't be with this monster in their yard? Still, could be worse.
He's probably weigh 1.5 kilo. I've caught him 11.5 kilo.
The self-confessed reptile lover says summer is his busiest time of the year. And as the weather warms up, the biggest risk to humans is their lack of knowledge.
There's lots of silly questions that get asked that people don't understand. Therefore, with a little bit more knowledge, there's less people getting put in hospital and the snakes put in the bin.
Yeah, and Tony joins us this morning from the Gold Coast. You're mad, mate. Thanks for joining us. It's one thing to like snakes or, appreciate them, but then it's another thing to become a snake catcher. How did that happen?
Purely by accident, mate. I actually moved to the Gold Coast to start a fishing charter business, but in Queensland you were allowed to keep reptiles as pets, whereas in Sydney you weren't at that time. So I did, and the neighbours got to know me as a local snake guru. And then one day a lady came running down and said, look, we've got a big problem with a snake, can you fix it? And by the time I got there, the bloke had killed it, and it was just a carpet python. That their ignorance annoyed me, so I thought, well, let's start snake catching just to save a few snakes here and there, thinking I'd get 1 or 2 calls a month, and here I am many years later, doing it 7 days a week, full on.
Gee, you've obviously had, though, a few maybe not so pleasant experiences.
Well, yes, I have had my stints in hospital, but when you think about the fact that I've done over 10,000 snake calls, and I've been doing it since 1994, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and I also have 180 reptiles at home that require attending, 4 stints in hospitals, not bad. Once from a lizard, once from a croc, and twice from venomous snakes.
Oh, so it's not just snakes.
180 at home?
Yeah, what's the worst trip you've had to hospital?
Well, an eastern brown nearly killed me, but I didn't feel a thing, so the worst thing about that was waking up and seeing my family upset. But one of the worst pains I've had is a big goanna grabbed me and kicked my backside. That was pretty painful, and I spent a bit of time in hospital from that too.
If you've got 180 at home, what do you feed them all? Sorry, I'm just intrigued.
Yeah, no, the food bill, well, different animals require different feeders, rats and mice, and all the goannas and the crocodiles require chicken necks and chicken heads and any leftover bits and pieces of meat that don't get used in the system.
You've got crocodiles at home?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I do kids' parties, crocodile shows as well.
Okay.
You're into the lot. Hey, Tony, is it coming into your peak season, if you like, because summer's coming along and snakes don't mind a bit of warm weather?
Obviously, reptiles are cold-blooded, so therefore the warmer it is, the more active they are. And yes, it is only just starting to get warm, but this is the beginning of the season when they breed and mate. So all the males are very, very obsessed with getting their one opportunity per year to mate. So all the males lose common sense and just travel trying to find her, and they get seen by us humans. So I'm pretty busy.
Quick little tip then for all of us, Tony. If we see a snake, I mean, what's the worst thing that we could do?
Look, it's the old school way. The older generation go up saying the only good snake is a dead snake. They try and kill it. 90% of the time they kill a harmless snake, which was doing them a favour anyway. And every now and then they come across something like an eastern brown that's a little bit faster and a little bit more temperamental, and they'll end up in hospital. So the best thing to do is just leave them alone.
We'll call you.
Call one of the authorities.
Yeah. I'll call you, Tony. You're a tough guy. Amazing. Thank you so much. Good to talk to you.